taking a little tour of my RetroPie. This is a track mode. So this is the default screen that you come to, and you can scroll through the systems. You got Super Nintendo, Genesis, Neo Geo, NES, N64, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy, and that's it. Those are the only systems I have right now. I can still put on others, but this is just what I started with. So, let's see, I got about 700 games for NES, so if you go into the system, got the same kind of menu. So now, here are all the games. You can just scroll through, and each one has its own little mini video clip of the actual gameplay. So basically all of the classics plus a bunch of crap that's never been released or Japanese versions. So it takes forever to scroll through everything because there's a crap load of games, but so that's NES. We got Genesis. So each system has its own custom screen. All the Sonics. I don't know how many games. Looks like this, I only put 21 games for Genesis. But all the good ones, Altered Beast and all the Sonics. And then we got, what else we got? Neo Geo. Neo Geo is like the arcade cabinet games. So these are actual, almost like MAME games. You have to put in coins. So one of the buttons is used to put coins in the machine, but it's essentially the Neo Geo. Let's see, N64. And this, all I have on here is Banjo-Kazooie, Super Mario 64. All of them work except for, like, I think I have 007, doesn't work. Perfect Dark doesn't work. Bomberman. Banjo-Kazooie works great. Super Mario works great, and I added the texture pack, so there's like high-res brand new texture for all of the screens. Like they added detail. So that's that. Super or N64. Got Game Boy Color. There's a crap ton of Game Boy Advance games. Whoops. So there's 103 Game Boy Advance games. Shit ton of Game Boy Advance games. Some of them are missing the files. Well, actually, some of them just don't have files ever made, so you can make them yourself. As far as like the little video clip, I actually had to do that for one of them. There's a Sonic for the Super Nintendo, which was not an actual game, and so I went on YouTube and created my own little clip. Let's see, Super Nintendo, Genesis, Neo Geo. Did you see Nintendo? I don't remember, I think so, yeah. And this has, 703 games. N64, Game Boy Color. There's not very many games that I did for this one. I think just to try it out. I think there's like 5 games or something like that. Ah, crap. Oh, well, that was an act. I just started one of the games actually on accident. I meant to go back. Yeah, I think I showed all the systems anyway. So if we go to like Nintendo, find a game. Like I said, there's so many to scroll through. And as far as I can see, there's not really a good way to go quickly to games. It does scroll pretty quick, but so like we can start up one of the games, and it gives you a few seconds to like configure the individual game. So as soon as you start it, you saw that little gray box. If you press A, you can configure all the settings for this specific game. But all the Nintendo games play perfectly. All the Super Nintendo games play perfectly. All the Game Boy. The only ones that don't work well are the N64 ones. I'm like trying to hold the phone and play at the same time, which doesn't really work. And you can save your state. So I can do like select. See, I can do it and hold it. Yeah, I can't do it while I'm filming, but there we go. Now it just saved the state, and then I could go back and load it at any time. See, I can just sit there and keep loading it. And you can do that for all of the games on all the systems, except N64. I think you can do it on N64, but I haven't. N64 will at least save your state like normal, like if you were to pull the cartridge. But so yeah, I think that's pretty much it as far as that goes. And then the other cool thing that I did, I have my case, but I installed this little dude. So the Raspberry Pi doesn't come with an on-off button. You have to physically pull the cord, which is fine, but to save some wear and tear, I installed this. And this basically, there's a script running on the Raspberry Pi that listens for this button push, and as soon as I push it, it safely shuts down the system. And there we go, it's already shut down. You can see the lights. Should just be, once it's all shut down, a solid red. So there's still power to the unit, and I can actually reboot it by doing the same thing. Push it, and it'll reboot. It's fairly quick, but the more games you put on it, the longer it takes to boot. So right now it's actually not that long, but that's another reason why I didn't want to put thousands and thousands of games on there, because the more games you put, the longer it takes to boot up. That's the attract mode, that I think you can bypass it, but yeah. So then that's it. So I mean, it takes like 10 seconds to boot, maybe, if that. So yeah, and then there's ways to configure all the like this menu. You can configure all the displays, like so all this stuff that you're seeing right here is all themes. Like I chose this theme, but there's like a shit ton of other themes that you can choose. And graphics, you can add your own themes, you can add your own graphics. This was just one that I thought looked cool. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Turn it off, and then the last thing I'm going to get, I have coming in the mail right now, is now that this is off, there's still power coming to it. I'm going to get a switch for the power right here, and there'll just be a switch right here that I can beep, and it'll actually cut the power to the Raspberry Pi. But pretty cool. And here's my retro controller that I got. Super responsive. Works so much better than the other USB one that I had. I mean, just night and day. I mean, playing the games is like really easy now. Before, it was just all over the place. But anyway, that's it.